Well, you deserve more than 4 days in jail. You deserve what I ordered in the first place. Yeah, you've got very little responsibility for this. The more you say, the more I want to give you the balance of 21 days in jail.
I would appreciate not, Your Honor. I have a
Yes.
mother and stepdad that I need to provide care for.
Yes, you're going to jail right now. You can go for 90 days if you'd like. You're going to jail
Your
right
Honor,
now. I don't want to argue about it.
I would also.
There's a consequence.
Nope, I would just like to make a statement.
She was placed on probation, and her probation agent is Autumn Kiefer. She was charged with stealing a wallet containing $180 of cash that belonged to a Richard Roll. And she pled to that charge. We had some victim input, and the defendant was placed on a probation. Ms. Kiefer filed a probation violation petition alleging that she fell off a map, essentially, that she failed to report on a monthly basis. That petition was last June. The defendant did not appear for that hearing, and a bench warrant issued for her arrest. She got picked up a few weeks ago. She'd been in, I don't know where she was, but she was here. She'd been in jail in Calhoun County. She bonded out and then came here for her arraignment. She pled not guilty and asked to set the matter for a hearing. She's here with her original attorney, Jordan Harden.
Your Honor, I was not the attorney in the underlying case.
Oh, you weren't?
No, I was not on a contract at that time.
Oh, well, all right. You're counsel now. I don't know who was your original attorney. Do you remember who your original was?
I didn't have one here.
All right. Okay. Well, Ms. Harden, what does your client wish to do?
Thank you, Your Honor. I did have a phone conference with my client a couple weeks ago, as she does live quite a distance away from Centerville and in the Mendon area. Discussing the allegation of the petition, she is willing to make an admission.
Ms. Harden, I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, you're fine. The indication or the intention of my client today is that she's going to make an admission to the allegations in the petition, which was violation of Article 3, failing to report.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the status report. Her last report was April of 2024, and then we just lost track of her. So, Ms. Moeller, would you acknowledge you failed to report since April of 24 until you got picked up in Battle Creek in August of 25?
I do, Your Honor.
What happened?
I ended up moving to Bay City, Michigan to attempt to take care of my mother and my stepdad, and just with the multitasking, it just wasn't a priority when it should have been.
When you got arrested in Calhoun County, did you get charged with anything there, or they just arrested you on our warrant?
On the warrant.
How'd you happen to be in Battle Creek?
Well, I was coming down to deal with my daughter and actually come here and deal with some things, trying to get things squared away in St. Joe County so that I don't have to do the 3-hour drive.
Well, I put you on probation because I felt there was a drug issue here, and I also wanted to have enough time to get restitution paid to the man whose wallet you took. But I wasn't very successful at that. Ms. Kiefer, what's your recommendation here?
Well, initially she has 20 days of deferred time. This type of violation doesn't warrant 20 days. She was served 4 days in Calhoun County that I verified. She unfortunately hasn't paid any fines and costs at all in this case. So my recommendation is for the 4 days of time served for her to pay the $325, which removes the oversight fees of probation and revoke from the probation.
Ms. Harden, having that in mind, what would you like to say to that?
Your Honor, we were going to ask for the court to consider her circumstances. I was not aware of the time she'd done in Calhoun County, so the recommendation for time served and just pay the remainder of that restitution and court costs, we would ask the court to adopt that recommendation from Ms. Kiefer.
Ms. Campfield, do you have an opinion regarding this?
I do, Your Honor. I struggle with these types because it doesn't appear that there's a new offense or any criminal conduct, at least that we're aware of, that would have brought her before Calhoun County or this court again. However, if she was moving to Bay City, that's something that she should have kept Ms. Kiefer aware of. Probation could have potentially been transferred there if this court was willing to do so and they accepted, or perhaps even a phone report could have been arranged, but she didn't make effort to even comply in that regard. So here I understood she did 4 days and there's no new offenses, but when you just abscond and have to be picked up in order to come deal with things, I think that perhaps maybe a little bit more than the 4 days served is warranted for just snubbing her nose at this court. And frankly, Ms. Kiefer, who through her report made every attempt to help her report on several occasions and had to reach out to her. She failed to report in March of last year. She reported in April and not thereafter. So, I mean, she was giving her the benefit of the doubt and she didn't give the same respect back to this court or Ms. Kiefer.
Yes. Let me bring Ms. Strongest back. To back all the way up, this crime offended my sensibilities. This handicapped man left his wallet in a cart at Myers. You took it. You lied about it.
Okay, pause right here. This is a classic probation violation situation. No new crime, but that doesn't mean no consequences. When you abscond, meaning you disappear without notifying probation, that's a direct violation of court trust. Probation is basically the court saying, we're giving you freedom, don't make us regret it. And she ghosted them. The real issue isn't a new charge, it's disrespecting the court's authority. Do you think missing reports should carry jail time even without a new offense? Let me know.
And they saw you take his wallet. First you said you didn't take the wallet, then you said you did take the wallet and you gave it to a Walmart employee in the parking lot, which you didn't. You took his wallet and left and kept his money and all his identification. I thought you got a huge gift when I put you on this probation.
This is where everything shifts. Notice the judge saying, this offended my sensibilities. That's powerful. Judges are human, and crimes against vulnerable victims hit differently. Theft is bad. Stealing from a disabled man? That amplifies the moral weight in sentencing. And here's the kicker. There's surveillance footage. When there's video evidence, denial doesn't just look dishonest. It looks delusional. At this point, credibility is collapsing fast. Would you have shown more leniency because she repaid later? Or is this a hard line for you?
As I said, this offended me right from the get-go. My judgment was 6-month probation, 21 days minus 1, hanging 20 days over your head. You were supposed to pay restitution and court costs and other expenses, of which you paid none. I also barred you from Walmart for a year. So having said all that, what would you like to say to me?
First, I apologize to the courts and probation for having life problems. As of September 9th or September 10th, I am now working. If my check deposited on Wednesday mornings, $200 would have already been paid, but it doesn't until after midnight. So I can't pay anything until tomorrow.
All right, fair enough. Can you get his driver's license and social security card and his, yeah, you threw somebody else under the bus.
My son threw all that away, or I don't know what was happened to it after it got in his hands.
Yes.
But I pled guilty because I am the one that took it out of the court.
And that's the turning point. The judge actually showed restraint here. She could have imposed the full 21 days. Instead, 5 days to serve and only $200 restitution remaining. That's measured. That's proportional. But here's the lesson. Excuses make sentences longer. Every time she shifted blame to her son, to circumstances, to timing, her credibility shrank. Courtrooms reward accountability, not storytelling. Do you think 5 days was fair, or should the full 21 have been imposed? Drop your verdict below.
You can go for 90 days if you'd like. You're going to jail right now. I don't want to argue about it.
I would
There's a
also,
consequence.
nope, I would just like to make a statement.
I don't want to hear it. Thank you. You can go with the officer.
There goes my.
There is a consequence
Yeah,
to our actions, and one just landed on you.
I agree to that. Can you grab my belongings?